Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is now time for the best real estate podcast online. It is time for Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live with Mike and Dave Elkins, presented by Elite Realty Group. Time now for a real estate portion of the show where we always, each time that we go live, we do bring you some valuable real estate information. At least we try to, and you guys have told us that we do, so we're going to go with we do this morning. Here's what we're going to talk about today, and you'll want to pay attention to this. We're going to talk about 4 ways to prepare for a competitive spring home buying season that is right now upon us. It is always a good thing to be prepared. That's what we tell you all the time. That's why we're giving this information out across the World Wide Web and to all of you to like and share, is we would much rather you be prepared than not be prepared. So we're giving you that information every time that we go. But here's what that we do know. With the housing inventory being as low as it is, and the demand for buyers being as high as they are, mortgage rates poised to rise just a little bit. It's very competitive right now in the real estate market, but as again, the spring rush really gets into full bloom, it's going to get even more competitive.
Yes.
It's going to get even more competitive.
I actually had a lady that I talked to Friday. She called me from Oklahoma.
Yes.
Moving here from Oklahoma, and she said, I got to ask you a question. I said, all right, what's that? She said, she's been following us on Facebook and stuff like that, but she said, you know, it seems like you guys are trying to stay on top of the whole real estate stuff. I said, well, it seems, you know, we do try.
Right.
So she said, everything that I look at, so they're wanting to move here. They've actually sold their house
from
there,
Oklahoma,
and they're coming.
Right.
So they're coming by the end of this week. They're coming, and they're going to have to stay in a motel. But she said, we're coming, but everything that we see and that we like, we look at it again the next day, and it's pending.
It's gone. Yeah.
She said, is it that crazy down there? And I said, our market is just unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable.
And inventory, low inventory, and buyers are driving that, right? A lot more buyers than there are homes. So again, just a nugget I'll throw out there. You got a home that you need to sell, you'd like to sell, now's the time to do that.
Quit
right?
thinking.
You know anybody, your sphere of influence, people you go to church with, work with, your kids play ball with, anybody, all right? They need to at least have a conversation right now and look into, is this a good thing for me to do?
Yes.
So again, but we're going to give you on the buyer side, we're going to give you information today. Again, 4 ways to prepare yourself to be prepared to jump into that competitive market, that spring home buying season. We're going to give you those 4 ways here today. Here is number 1, all right? And this is one of the big ones. These are in no particular order, but all of these are major. And you've probably heard us talk about some of these before, but here's number 1. Get your financial house in order, okay?
Yes.
Now, I'm not particularly talking about a mortgage. We'll go down that road here in just a minute. But when I say your financial house in order, I'm saying that if you're not going to be paying cash for this house, which some people do, and that's fine, but if you're not going to be paying cash for this house, you're going to have to go apply for and get a mortgage. Again, we'll talk more about in just a minute. But you need to be ready. You need to be prepared for when you do go and apply for that mortgage. You need to be prepared for that. If you have right now a lot of credit card debt, maybe student loan debt, maybe this, maybe that, maybe charge-offs, maybe some things that could be affecting your credit score. That's what I'm more talking about when I say get your financial house in order. If you've got a card you could pay off easily instead of paying the interest rate and the monthly payment, go ahead and get that done. If you've got, again, something that may be putting a little ding against your credit, too high of debt on your credit card, so on and so forth, take care of those things, because here's what you do know. Or here's what we know. The interest rates are climbing just a little bit, right? They're climbing just a little bit. But your interest rate, your insurance rate, a lot of things are based upon what your credit score is.
Right.
So the higher your credit score, the better interest rate you're going to get on the mortgage, which means to you, the more house you're going to be able to afford, right?
Right.
It could take you from a 150 to a 165 house, which could totally change, again, the dynamics of your home search.
Right.
So get your financial house in order by checking your credit report, checking those things, looking
Look
at that.
for errors.
If there's things you can pay off, by all means, those probably need to be paid off. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
That again, that drives your credit score up. But you want to, when you go in to apply for your mortgage, you want to look as attractive as a home buyer as you can to a mortgage person. That way, again, your loan, your docs, your speed, everything goes really quick, right?
Right.
Because again, the worse that I should say, the more dings you have on your credit, the more things you have going against you, debt to income, the ratio, so on and so forth. It's going to make it harder and longer to get that loan. And going back to what the lady said from Oklahoma, when you got to buy, time is of the essence. You need to be able to go quickly.
Yes.
So again, get your financial house in order. That's number one. Got anything to add to that?
No, like you said, just go over that report, go over your credit report, get a copy of that. I don't remember what episode it was. I think it was very early on, but we told you there's a website that you can go to.
Yes.
It was something.org. I don't even remember what it was, but you can go there and get a free copy of your credit report.
Yes.
And, go over that thing. Make sure that everything on there is right. Because, again, a lot of times people don't really know what's even on their credit report.
That's exactly right.
I talk to people basically daily that call in here that's wanting to know about trying to get pre-approved to buy a house. And I ask them, what's your credit score? Most of them have no clue.
Right.
And
that's good info to know.
Yeah, that's a great info to know. Yeah.
Absolutely. Again, we're in the age of cyber theft, all that good stuff.
Right.
Someone could have your Social Security number doing all kinds of things to your credit report. So you want to make sure you know that. I want to give a shout out. Just saw it go through here. Amy Hartman is on watching this morning. Again, that's a client, obviously, of Kim Roberts. Said she just listed her house on Friday through Elite Realty Group. Glad that you chose
Amy, if you live in that house, start packing now.
Yeah, hopefully, right? Yes. That thing gets sold fast, and that's what she says. Hope that it sells quick. Kim is a great agent. She will definitely do everything that she can do to get your house sold. That is for sure. So number one is, again, we're giving you 4 ways today to prepare for a competitive spring home buying season. Number one is get your financial house in order by looking at your credit report, again, debt to income, so on and so forth, and getting that stuff fixed. What do you got for number 2?
All right, so make sure that you qualify for a mortgage. That's the next
goes right along with it.
Yeah,
goes right along with it.
I saw Beth Elkins, who is no relation to us, by the way. Right. She is a lender here in Morristown, and a good one at that.
That's right.
So she can tell you basically a lot of stuff to do, but here's some of the stuff I know that they're going to have. You got a bunch of paperwork that you're going to have to take them. They want to know about your kindergarten report cards. I'm just kidding. Okay, don't go back that deep. But you're going to feel like they need everything, and they do.
And let me hold you up real fast.
Okay,
that's not necessarily that individual lender or mortgage person. Like, they're not trying to look back at your kindergarten report card. That's like government regulated. It's all that stuff. They got to look at that stuff. Don't get mad at them. Here's a shout out to all our lender friends. Don't get mad at them. They're just doing what they got to do to try to get your house.
They got to collect information.
Yes,
that's
sorry
just
about
their
that.
job. That's what they got to do. A lot of times we hear that, it's like, and people will think because, well, maybe I can switch lenders and this one's not going to want as much. They all got to have the same thing.
Absolutely.
It don't matter. The process is pretty much going to take the same on all of them, pretty much, So it's just the way it is. They're going to ask you for employment history, pay stubs, bank statements, 401ks, tax returns. But there is a bunch of stuff. What you had
for breakfast Thursday morning
at 9:15.
Yes.
It's going to, it really is. But a lot of people just assume that you'll hear them and they'll say, "Oh, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I know I make $120,000 a year at my job.
Right.
I'm good.
Right."
But they don't realize that debt to income.
Yes, you can't have too much debt.
Right.
You can't.
So don't assume. Go ahead and take that step. Go ahead and go through the process to make sure, because there is a difference between being pre-qualified and being pre-approved.
Absolutely.
There is a major difference.
Major difference, yes. Major difference. So again, that's some things that you want to do. You want to go ahead and take the step and get all that stuff out of the way, because here's what we're going to tell you. Again, it's tight, it's hot, it's moving. Again, things are inventory short, so on and so forth. So, with that being said, when you find what you know is the home you want to purchase, You've got to be ready to move and act upon that offer right now, because if you don't, I saw a post that someone put the other day, and we've actually said this before here too on the show, but the house that you look at today, you go home tonight to think about, you call your mortgage people about tomorrow and begin that process, is the home that somebody else saw the day before yesterday. They've already got their mortgage done, and they put the offer in, and they get the house right out from under you. It's literally moving that fast. So these are things that you need to do, especially these two.
Right.
You need to do them before you ever get in the car and start going to look, because again, time is of the essence.
And I think it was Kim that was telling us just the other day when she went to the
state thing,
conference thing or whatever it was, that there's some areas, and like I said, you've heard us say this a while, that you see this multiple offer situation coming in a lot more. But she said that market they was in, they was getting up to 15 offers on a house.
Yes.
That's crazy. You had 15 people bidding on your house.
On a house.
That's a great thing for a seller.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But again, what we're speaking of today, a buyer that's not ready to go, that offer's through right now.
You're gone.
I mean,
you're not even
considered.
You're not even competing.
You could have a great offer, a full price, over asking price offer. But again, if you're not ready to buy the house, the seller's going to look at it and say, all right, maybe have a little bit less money here, but I got somebody that's ready.
Dad just went through this, didn't he? He just had multiple offers. He was in a multiple offer situation.
Absolutely.
His people had to go above the asking price.
That's exactly right.
He had the buyers. They ended up getting the bid, but that's the way it is.
We just randomly stand somebody up. So again, back to the real estate stuff.
Sorry about that.
Back to the real estate stuff.
See how we get sidetracked.
2 of the 4. Here is the third one. Yeah, we got to hurry, man. We're talking too long. Here is the third one, all right? Again, 4 ways to prepare for a competitive spring home buying season is choose the right realtor. It can make or break your deal. Now, I'm going to give a disclaimer here, because we do it every time we begin to talk about realtors and real estate on this show. We are not sitting before you today telling you we are the latest, the greatest, the best, any of that stuff. You have to choose us.
Well, some of us are.
You're going to, you're going to do these things.
How do you like that wink?
You're going to fail if you don't choose us. There are a lot. I stress this every time we talk about it. There are a lot of great companies, great realtors that are right here in the Lakeway area that will do you the right thing. What we're giving you this information for today is not to tell you to pick us, although pick us, but picking a realtor can be the difference between the right realtor, can be the difference between you getting the dream home that you want and honestly living in a hotel, living in a motel for a while until you be able to get that. And not that that's bad. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But if you want, again, to be on top of it, things that come to the market quickly, as the lady in Oklahoma was saying, these houses that I'm looking at online, going through these third-party sites, so on and so forth, I go back and look at them the next day, they're gone.
Right.
A good realtor, a good real estate agent can keep you on top of it. They may know of things that are coming. They may know things that are happening. But also, when you do find the house, they're going to have the know-how and the skills to advise you. At the end of the day, you make all the decisions, right?
Right.
We can't tell you what to do. If you've got an agent telling you what to do, be careful. You need to be the boss. We follow the lead of what you want to do, as long as it's moral, legal, and ethical for us to do that. We're going to follow those things. But when that deal goes down, they're going to be able to advise you. Hey,
I was going to say, listen to the advice.
Yes.
Again, a lot of times people, it's any other thing. Whether people want to look at it this way or not, but we are professionals at what we do.
Yes.
So we deal with this stuff daily.
Yes.
A lot of times that people get really stressed out about circumstances or situations that come up in the whole process, of trying to
absolutely.
What word am I looking for? We're negotiating a lot. We're negotiating a deal.
Right.
A lot of times people get frustrated about that, but a lot of times that's where a good realtor can step in and calm you down.
Yes.
And say, this is stuff that we deal with daily.
Absolutely.
You're not the only person this has happened to.
Right.
We'll know when you get in those multiple offer situations. Just like Dad said, they had multiple offers, but he was able to advise his clients what was the best thing to do.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, they got the bid on the house.
Absolutely. So again, those are things that you want. Again, picking the right person to lead you through is, a big thing. I can't help but notice in the comment bar, I got to touch on this real quick. They're just dying for us to talk about food this morning.
Really? Okay.
Like, they can't believe we've not brought the food out this morning. So, again, man, we're shying from the temptation today. We are staying away from the temptation of the food. We're not on a diet. Right?
No, we're not on a diet,
man.
No.
We ain't on no kind of diet. We're going to go eat us a Big Mac when we get done right here, Eat us a pound of fries, all that good stuff.
I'm going to take a picture of it.
Not really.
No,
not really. But again, hey, you guys like to be talking about food, man.
That's right.
I saw somebody say we got to have a pie eating contest, too, over at the park.
I'm game.
I'm in on it, man.
Yeah.
I'm in on it. All right, we've gave you 3 of the 4 ways. It's time for the last way here. Again, 4 ways to prepare for a competitive spring home buying season. Go ahead.
I think I've kind of already said mine, but it's be prepared to pay the price.
Absolutely.
Like I said, there's a stat here that's wrote down. I wanted to read it, but it says home prices in close to 2/3 of the housing markets are at an all-time high, according to a report done in February 2018. So prices are high.
Yes.
Prices are high, so you better be ready to pay that price because, again, the best houses are going to have the best offers, best deals are going to have multiple offers on those.
Yes.
So be prepared to pay.
That's right.
They're not. You've heard us been saying this for a long time now, but the house might drop 3 to 5%. Maybe. But again.
That depends on if you're asking for closing costs.
Depends on what you're asking for.
Yes.
Exactly. If you're asking for closing costs, again, we pretty much tell people if you're asking for closing costs, it's probably going to take a full price offer.
Yeah.
In Dad's case that he just dealt with Friday, they had to go above the asking price.
To get it, yes.
So,
to get it. But you got to be
ready.
Be ready to know that.
Again, you got to know that's where all this here ties in together. If you've already talked to that lender, you've got yourself not pre-qualified but pre-approved. Now you're ready. You know what you got. It's like going to a car lot. I think I said this before, but with a check in hand.
Yes.
You go in there and you can start making negotiations.
That's right.
Then.
You're making
deals. You don't know nothing about it, you can't even negotiate.
That's exactly right. You can't do those things. So
we thank each and every one of you for listening to today's podcast. Tune in for future episodes by subscribing to our channel and get the latest and greatest real estate information right here on Lakeway Area Real Estate Talk Live, presented by Elite Realty Group. Until next time, have a great and blessed day.